How did it happen that you made a trip to Paris, Kimba?
Like this. Roger Ranger and his uncle Mr. Pompous took me.
Remember that plucky white lion cub with the enormous eyes who taught you about courage every Saturday morning? Kimba the White Lion was a groundbreaking anime that blazed trails, sparked international controversy, and left paw prints all over animation history. Today we're counting down 10 absolutely wild facts about this 1965 classic that'll make you see Leo's jungle in a whole new light. Let's dive in.
Yes, but he's my friend, so why is he fighting me suddenly?
Can't imagine.
Number 10. The name that almost was. Ever wonder why our hero isn't called Simba the White Lion? Here's the twist. NBC actually considered that exact name when adapting the show for American audiences in the mid-60s. But a sharp-eyed executive vetoed it, declaring Simba was too common to trademark legally. So they went with Kimba instead. A decision that would become deliciously ironic 3 decades later. Back then, protecting intellectual property meant everything to the networks. They wanted a name that screamed ours alone, something distinctively ownable in the cutthroat world of syndication. Little did they know they were dodging a bullet that would eventually ricochet back from the African savanna. Keep that Simba rejection in your back pocket. It's going to matter big time when we hit number 1. Number 9. Japan's first full-color TV anime. Kimba the White Lion didn't just walk into Japanese television history. It strutted in wearing a crown. When the series premiered on October 6, 1965, it became the first full-color animated television series ever produced in Japan. That's right. Before Speed Racer, before Astro Boy went color, there was Kimba. Tezuka Productions took an enormous financial gamble bringing color to the small screen. Color animation cost 3 times as much as black and white, and most Japanese households still owned monochrome TVs. But Osamu Tezuka bet on the future, believing color would become the standard within a few years. He was right, and Kimba's lush jungle greens and golden sunsets set the visual bar every anime studio would chase for the next decade. Number 8. The Great Episode Scramble. American kids watching Kimba in syndication got a viewing experience that can only be described as narrative whiplash. NBC aired 49 of the 52 dubbed episodes, but in completely scrambled order, like someone shuffled a deck of story cards and dealt them randomly. Character arcs made no sense, villains died and reappeared, and Kimba seemed to age backwards and forwards. Why the chaos? NBC's catalog sequencing for syndication prioritized standalone episodes over serialized storytelling. They figured kids wouldn't notice if episode 47 aired before episode 12. Spoiler alert, we absolutely noticed. But we kept watching anyway, because, hey, it was a white lion fighting hyenas. That's premium Saturday morning content, regardless of chronology.
Who's the one who brought the jungle fame?
Number 7. Panja became Caesar, and Hamegg became what? When Titan Productions dubbed Kimba for American audiences, they made some seriously creative naming choices. Kimba's father Panja got the regal English upgrade to Caesar. Fair enough, very imperial. But the villainous hunter Hamegg? He became Viper Snakely. Yes, you read that correctly. Hamegg to Viper Snakely. This wasn't unusual for 60s dubbing, where cultural translation often meant complete character overhauls. American producers worried kids wouldn't connect with Japanese names, so they westernized everything aggressively. The result was a bizarre lexicon where Caesar ruled the jungle, and a guy literally named after breakfast meat became a reptilian villain. It's the kind of localization decision that sounds like it was made during a 3-martini lunch. And honestly, we're kind of here for it. Number 6. Venice said bellissimo. Before Kimba conquered Saturday morning television, the franchise earned some serious European prestige. The 1966 theatrical film version of Jungle Emperor traveled to the 19th Venice International Film Festival and won the St. Mark's Silver Lion Award. That's Italian cinema royalty, recognizing a Japanese cartoon about an African lion. This wasn't some obscure animation category prize. Venice was, and is, one of the most prestigious film festivals on the planet. Tezuka's epic storytelling and groundbreaking animation techniques impressed critics who normally wouldn't give a cartoon the time of day. It proved anime could hold its own against live-action cinema, a validation the medium desperately needed in the mid-60s. Plus, winning a Silver Lion for a show about a white lion? That's poetic justice. Number 5. The 2009 Eye Swap. Die-hard Kimba fans noticed something deeply unsettling about the 2009 television special. Our hero's eyes changed from their iconic blue to scarlet red. It's like if Mickey Mouse suddenly showed up with green ears. Technically possible, but spiritually wrong. For 44 years, Kimba's blue eyes were as essential to his design as his white fur and black-tipped tail. Why the change? The 2009 special took a darker, more mature tone, and the producers apparently wanted Leo's appearance to reflect that edgier direction. Red eyes suggest danger, intensity, a predator who's seen some things. But for fans who grew up with the gentle blue-eyed cub, it felt like meeting your childhood friend and discovering they've joined a motorcycle gang. Still Kimba, but with a leather jacket and an attitude problem. Number 4. The studio that couldn't. Mushi Production, the legendary studio that birthed Kimba, Astro Boy, and much of early anime, went bankrupt in June 1973. The company that revolutionized Japanese animation simply ran out of money, crushed by the brutal economics of producing quality content on razor-thin budgets. And here's where it gets weird. NBC had all the US syndication prints shipped back in 1978 and stored them in a warehouse until further notice. Those prints gathered dust for years, caught in corporate limbo, while a generation of kids grew up remembering fragments of episodes they could no longer find. Mushi's bankruptcy meant the original masters were scattered or lost, making preservation efforts a nightmare. It's a reminder that even groundbreaking art can be buried by boring things like balance sheets and distribution contracts. The jungle may have been forever, but the studio behind it definitely wasn't.
Suspicious. If anyone else gets that reference.
Number 3. Leo joins the baseball team. In 1978, Japanese baseball got a furry white mascot with serious pedigree. The Cebu Lions adopted adult Leo, designed by Osamu Tezuka himself, as their official team mascot, alongside a female companion named Lena. Fast forward to 2014, and Leo actually appeared on the players' uniforms, making him possibly the only anime character to go from Saturday morning cartoon to professional sports merchandise. This wasn't just slapping a popular character on a logo. Tezuka personally created new designs to fit the team's branding. The Cebu Lions wanted that association with courage, leadership, and protective strength that Leo embodied. For Japanese fans, seeing Leo on a baseball uniform was like Americans putting Superman on the Yankees. It just felt right. Kimba went from ruling the jungle to ruling the outfield. And honestly, that's a pretty solid retirement plan for a cartoon lion.
That hairball is my son and your future king.
Number 2. 488 Angry Cartoonists. When The Lion King roared into theaters in 1994, nearly 500 Japanese animators and cartoonists smelled something fishy in the Pride Lands. A petition signed by 488 creators demanded Disney acknowledge Kimba's influence on their blockbuster film. The similarities were hard to ignore. A young lion prince, a wise baboon mentor, comic relief sidekicks, an evil scarred villain. And yes, even the name, Simba. Tezuka had died in 1989, but his family ultimately decided not to pursue litigation. Some said they honored Tezuka's respect for Disney. Others suggested taking on the Mouse House's legal team was a battle not even a Lion King could win. The controversy never fully disappeared. Fans still debate it online today. Disney has always maintained The Lion King was inspired by Hamlet, and technically Kimba's name rejection back in number 10 means Disney could argue they independently arrived at Simba. But those 488 cartoonists knew what they saw, and the animation community hasn't forgotten.
No, wake up! Sorry.
Number 1. The irony of Simba. Here's where it all comes full circle in the most deliciously ironic way possible. Remember how NBC rejected Simba as too common to trademark back in 1965? 3 decades later, Disney released The Lion King, starring a character named Simba. The very name NBC thought was too generic became the centerpiece of one of the highest-grossing animated films of all time, earning Disney billions. NBC's legal caution inadvertently created the perfect storm of controversy. If they'd kept Simba, the similarities between the two properties would have been undeniable, possibly lawsuit-worthy. Instead, the name change gave Disney just enough separation to claim coincidence, while the creative similarities piled up like bones in an elephant graveyard. It's corporate irony at its finest, the safety move that actually made things more complicated. Sometimes dodging a bullet just means it circles back around 3 decades later with compounded interest. From scrambled episodes to Italian film festivals, from baseball mascots to one of animation's biggest controversies, Kimba the White Lion packed more drama behind the scenes than in 52 episodes of jungle action. Until next time, remember, the jungle may be forever, but the facts behind it, those are even wilder. Stay curious, stay nostalgic, and keep those Saturday morning memories alive.